Imagine living in a world where your sense of peace does not rise and fall based on who texts you back, who notices your absence, or who claims to miss you. Imagine waking up with a calm mind, knowing that your value does not shift according to someone else's attention. Imagine no longer chasing, no longer waiting, no longer being pulled emotionally by people who may or may not appreciate you. This isn't fantasy, and it isn't ancient mythology. It is a very real way of living, built on the powerful foundation of Stoic philosophy. Stoicism, one of history's most enduring schools of wisdom, teaches us that the key to emotional strength and inner power lies in mastering ourselves, not controlling others. Yet ironically, the more you master yourself, the more others begin to notice. The more you detach from their validation, the more they start seeking yours. The more you cultivate peace within, the more deeply they feel your absence when you pull back. And the more you invest in becoming whole, independent, and unbothered, the more they begin to miss you. Not because you played games, but because the presence of someone truly grounded is impossible to forget. In this extensive exploration, we will dive deeply into the Stoic principles that naturally make people miss you, not through manipulation, but through transformation. You do not become desirable by demanding attention. You become desirable by becoming someone whose presence brings calm, direction, purpose, and strength. Someone who leaves an imprint. Someone who stands firm in a world full of emotional turbulence. Someone who does not cling, beg, or chase. Someone who is whole. Stay with me, because every part of this journey is intentionally crafted to guide you into a version of yourself that does not rely on others for validation. And yet, paradoxically, this is the very path that makes others miss you deeply. When you embody Stoic principles, you become unforgettable. Not because you try, but because you grow into a person who carries a rare kind of peace that others cannot easily find elsewhere. Let us begin. Part 1. Detaching from external validation. One of the core teachings of Stoicism, perhaps its most famous principle, is the distinction between what is within our control and what is not. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself daily, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." Most people struggle in relationships because they confuse these two domains. They think they can control how others feel, how others behave, how others respond, or whether others miss them. They try to shape people's emotions through constant communication, approval seeking, or emotional chasing. This is where suffering begins. Stoicism cuts through this illusion with absolute clarity. You cannot control whether someone misses you. You cannot control whether they value you. You cannot control their feelings, but you can control who you are. You can control how you show up. You can control your discipline, your character, your boundaries, and your emotional strength. And strangely enough, this is exactly what makes people miss you most. Because the truth is simple. People do not miss those who chase them. People do not miss those who are always available. People do not miss those who sacrifice themselves for attention. People do not miss those who cling. People miss what is rare. People miss what is grounded. People miss what brings peace. People miss what does not need them. When your happiness no longer depends on someone else's affection, you become someone whose presence carries a unique calmness. And when you step back, even slightly, your absence echoes louder than the noise of people who constantly chase. Stoicism teaches that your worth is internal, not external. The moment you embody this truth, you shift into a category of people who are truly unforgettable. Part 2. How self-sufficiency makes you unavoidably attractive. People are drawn to emotional strength. People are drawn to purpose. People are drawn to individuals who can stand alone. Stoicism places immense emphasis on developing inner sufficiency, becoming someone who does not crumble when others pull away, someone who does not negotiate their worth, someone who does not chase attention as if attention were oxygen. This is not coldness, it is wisdom. Why does this make someone miss you? Because emotional self-sufficiency is rare. Because most people are ruled by impulses and fears. Because calmness stands out in a world of chaos. Because people feel safer around someone who does not rely on them for happiness. Think about this. When someone is needy, their presence becomes heavy. But when someone is whole, they become magnetic. When someone is anxious, they become forgettable. But when someone is centered, they stand out. When someone is always around, their absence means nothing. But when someone with depth steps back, their absence is felt immediately. Self-sufficiency does not mean isolation. It does not mean pushing people away. It does not mean pretending not to care. It means becoming someone whose emotional life does not crumble when another person walks out of the room. And when you become this person, you automatically become more desirable, more respected, and more missed. Part 3. Embracing silence as a form of power. The modern world values noise, constant talking, constant posting, constant stimulation, but Stoicism teaches the opposite, the power of silence. Silence creates mystery. Silence creates space. Silence creates contrast. Silence creates reflection. Silence creates longing. When you stop oversharing, people become curious. When you stop explaining yourself, people wonder what you're thinking. When you stop seeking attention, people start giving it voluntarily. Silence is the companion of confidence. People who are comfortable in silence radiate strength. Consider how often people attempt to fill every gap, sending unnecessary messages, over-updating others, repeating their worth, trying to maintain attention. But Stoicism teaches, speak only when necessary. Act with purpose. Hold your energy close. When you embrace silence, you send a message without saying anything. I do not need you to see me. I see myself. I do not need your constant attention. I am grounded. I do not fear space. I am complete. And this is the silence that makes people miss you desperately. The silence that is not cold, but calm. The silence that is not avoidance, but strength. The silence that says, I am present by choice. I am not owned. I am not chasing. I am not desperate. This kind of silence is unforgettable. Part 4. The Stoic value of rarity. People desire what is scarce. This is a psychological truth recognized long before modern psychology existed. Stoicism understood this implicitly. Do not oversupply yourself. You do not make someone miss you by overwhelming them. You make someone miss you by showing that your presence is a privilege. When you live with purpose, discipline, and focus, you naturally become less available, not as a tactic, but as a lifestyle. People begin to ask questions. What are they doing? What are they working on? Why aren't they always here? What changed? Why do they feel so different? And behind every question is longing. Behind longing is emotional gravity. Behind emotional gravity is desire. Your value increases not when you force people to notice you, but when your life becomes so meaningful that others cannot help but feel the lack of it when you are gone. Stoicism teaches you to guard your time, guard your energy, guard your peace, guard your attention, guard your presence. When your presence becomes intentional, it becomes valuable. When it becomes valuable, it becomes missed. Part 5. Emotional resilience. Why people miss the strong, not the fragile. Stoicism teaches that emotions are not to be denied, but mastered, not suppressed, but understood, not ignored, but guided. Someone who reacts impulsively is forgettable. Someone who panics when ignored is forgettable. Someone who collapses under emotional pressure is forgettable. But someone who stands firm, who stays calm, who refuses to be dragged into emotional storms, this person is unforgettable. When someone is emotionally resilient, they do not panic if you step away. They do not cling when you create space. They do not beg for validation. They do not spiral into neediness. They do not become unstable. This calmness is powerful. This calmness changes dynamics. This calmness makes others question themselves. This calmness makes others appreciate you. This calmness makes others miss you. People remember how you managed yourself. They remember your steadiness. They remember how safe they felt around you. They remember the absence of drama. They remember your consistency. They remember your quiet strength. And when someone loses access to a person who brings stability, the loss is felt deeply. Part 6. Purpose, the Stoic magnetism that makes you irreplaceable. Stoicism teaches that the highest form of attraction is purpose, not beauty, not charm, not social status. A person with purpose moves differently, speaks differently, lives differently, vibrates differently. They are not idle, they are not lost, they are not waiting for someone else to complete them. When someone observes that your life continues with or without their presence, they understand your rarity. They begin to realize you are not dependent, you are not idle, you have direction, you have ambition, you have identity, you have depth. And depth is something people miss. Purpose is something people miss. Independence is something people miss. When you invest in your mission, your fitness, your studies, your work, your craft, your inner world, your presence becomes infused with meaning. And when someone loses a person whose life is purposeful, they feel that void. Most people value those who can enrich their lives, but they miss those whose very existence inspires something in them: calmness, discipline, hope, clarity. This is the power of purpose. Part 7. Attachment versus appreciation. Stoicism teaches that attachment leads to suffering, but appreciation leads to peace. People who cling push others away. People who fear loss create instability. People who try to force affection create resistance. But people who release attachment, people who enjoy without gripping tightly, people who appreciate without owning, these people create a different kind of bond. They create lightness, not pressure. And people miss lightness. People miss comfort. People miss ease. People miss relationships that don't suffocate them. When you practice non-attachment, you are not becoming cold. You are becoming courageous. You are saying, I do not need to hold you tightly to value you. I do not need your constant presence to enjoy your existence. I do not cling to you out of fear. I honor myself and I honor you. People miss those who give them emotional freedom. People miss those who don't try to control them. People miss those who allow them to breathe. People miss those who are not afraid to lose them, because freedom is rare, and what is rare is missed. Part 8. Discipline, the Stoic habit that changes everything. Discipline makes you stand out. Discipline makes you respected. Discipline makes you admired. Discipline makes you missed. Someone who lives with discipline radiates stability. They show that their life is not ruled by emotion, mood, or impulse. Their growth is intentional. Their direction is defined. People become deeply affected by the presence of someone who is self-mastered, because such people are uncommon. When you have discipline in your habits, discipline in your communication, discipline in your boundaries, discipline in your emotions, discipline in your time, you automatically become someone whose absence is felt. Why? Because most people lack discipline. And when someone encounters a person who embodies it, they experience something rare, something grounding, something admirable. When this person steps back, the contrast is immediate. The chaos of the world becomes more noticeable. The steadiness you provided is suddenly gone. The disciplined are missed, even by those who took them for granted. Part 9. Boundaries, the Stoic sign of self-respect. One of the most attractive and unforgettable qualities a person can have is strong boundaries. Stoicism teaches self-respect through boundaries, knowing what you accept and what you do not, what you tolerate and what you refuse, what aligns with your values and what does not. People do not miss those who allow themselves to be mistreated. People do not miss those who have no standards. People do not miss those who can be walked over, but people miss those who hold firm. People miss those who know their value. People miss those who refuse disrespect. People miss those with dignity. When you set boundaries, you become respected, you become valued, you become remembered. And when you walk away from situations that violate your peace, your absence becomes a consequence. A quiet consequence, a dignified consequence, a stoic consequence. People miss those who respect themselves because self-respect is magnetic. Part 10. Why Stoic people become unforgettable. When you live by Stoic principles, you become someone who leaves an imprint on the lives of others. Not intentionally, but naturally. You become unforgettable because your presence is peaceful, your absence is powerful, your boundaries are clear, your discipline is admirable, your silence is intentional, your self-sufficiency is refreshing, your purpose is magnetic, your emotions are controlled, your life has direction, your heart is not dependent, your attention is selective, your energy is rare. People feel the difference between you and those who are emotionally chaotic. In a world full of insecurity, you become grounding. In a world full of fear, you become courageous. In a world full of noise, you become clarity. And clarity is missed. Stability is missed. Purpose is missed. Peace is missed. Silence is missed. Strength is missed. People miss what they cannot replicate, and Stoic strength cannot be replicated easily. Part 11. Letting go of control makes you more desirable. Stoicism teaches that trying to control others is the fastest path to misery. When you stop trying to control how others feel about you, your relationships transform. When you let go of control, you communicate, "I am not desperate. I am not afraid of losing you. I respect your freedom. I am whole without you. I do not depend on your validation. I trust myself, not outcomes." This removes pressure. It removes anxiety. It removes emotional heaviness, and it creates space. Space in which longing can grow. Space in which appreciation can breathe. Space in which people begin to realize what you truly are. People miss those who don't cling. People miss those who let them be. People miss those who walk with confidence, not fear. You become desirable by not controlling. You become valuable by not forcing. You become magnetic by not chasing. Part 12. The Stoic path to being missed. When you embody Stoic principles, you don't need strategies. You don't need manipulation. You don't need tactics. You don't need to pretend. Your very existence becomes attractive. People miss you naturally when you detach from external validation, cultivate self-sufficiency, embrace silence, value your presence, build emotional resilience, live with purpose, practice non-attachment, develop discipline, set strong boundaries, let go of control. They miss you because you are stable. They miss you because you are centered. They miss you because you are not glued to them. They miss you because your presence is peaceful. They miss you because your life has meaning. They miss you because you do not need them. They miss you because you bring something rare. People do not miss the ordinary. They miss the rare. They miss the grounded. They miss the strong. They miss the independent. They miss the self-mastered. Stoicism does not guarantee that others will miss you, but it guarantees something far more important. They will never forget you. Part 13. Your presence becomes a gift, not a demand. This is the final transformation. When you walk into a room, you bring a sense of calm. When you speak with intention. When you love without fear. When you step back, you do so without drama. When you attach without dependency. When you engage without desperation. Your presence becomes a gift. Your absence becomes meaningful. People sense the difference between someone who is self-created and someone who is shaped by external chaos. Your presence becomes a sanctuary. Your absence becomes a question. Your energy becomes a memory. And those who have experienced you, your peace, your strength, your purpose, your steadiness, will sooner or later feel the weight of your absence. They will miss you, not because you demanded it, but because you earned it. Not because you manipulated them, but because you transformed yourself. Not because you chased them, but because you elevated yourself. This is the Stoic way. This is how you make them miss you deeply. This is how you become unforgettable. This is how you rise